Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the Navy brand knives. The one that is in my hand is the K-631. The next one is the K-631 but fully serrated. The first was only part serrated, and they also make a plain edge version, but that is currently sold out and not here. Then there is the Navy 607 model, also as the rest a clear copy of the swissbianco design. That brand name is made in China, the Navy brand name. Quite likely it's one of those bigger companies down there that make a pretty good quality of a knife in different of their own brand names, like this Navy brand, and also do OEM stuff for companies in USA. The Chinese of course make their own designs as well as also, and quite a lot copy the designs of European or American brands. And those three pieces here are patterned after the swissbianco models. The blade steel is 440C, and if you look online you find pretty much all the reviews are positive, and I can't say much against them either. The quality, the fit and finish is pretty good. The middle one I took apart and did already alter it. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. So the blade steel is 440C. Apparently, as best as I see, the heat treating is really good done on that few examples that I have. The handle is G10 and the liners are stainless steel, and the liners or spacers are made out of a really hard stainless steel, as I did try to drill and tap and work on them. On the middle one there, that is relative hard stainless steel that they use, so that is in a good quality way too. Each of those knives don't come in a box, they come in a bag like this. Digital camo copy that they made in China, and it has a simple, I would say it's not a paracord, it's a fake paracord without inner strings, so it's only the outer self that you can drag that like this, but it's not gonna hold tight or anything, so that's a bit uncommon and unique. But at least that bag you could maybe use for something else. If it's a sorry box or a packaging from China, that quite likely gonna end in the litter, and this bag maybe somebody can use it for something, so that's at least positive. As we start with this one, again that model is a copy of Endura in G10. We have a part serrated variation here. They also make it in fully serrated, as we're gonna look at next, and in a plain edge. Plain edge is currently sold out. It's a lock back design, exactly like the original. The clip can be mounted on this side, or as it is on the usual for right-hander side. The screw together construction is pretty well made. I took the other one completely apart, so inside we find the usual dirt or dust. Apparently where they assemble knives over in China, the rooms, the places where they do that are relative dusty, so always, and that is not only with these knives. Some other knife that came out of China but with US brand names on it, as I took it apart, they were dirty inside from start also, especially where the parts of the spacer is clamped to the liners or then to the G10. There you usually can wipe off quite a bit of dust that they simply clamp in as they assemble the item down there somewhere in China. The working is really nice. The only thing on this one optically is that part here is a bit coarse there, but as you actually use it, you don't feel it at all. The fit and finish is really nice made, and the CNC and all that on this sample, there is of course a bit of a gamble, a bit of lottery if you get a nice one or not. We're gonna see that on the sample number 3 there. So all in all, pretty nice quality wise, the workmanship, heat treating and all that. It has the usual flaw of the Spyderco design that the hole is really sharp, so that needs to be a bit dehorned. As usually inside, the corners in here are sharp as well. But again, we have here a knife deal that comes for about $16–17 shipped from China. No tax, no nothing here in USA. That is amazing. And part of the deal is that the manufacturing in China for sure is sponsored by the Chinese fake government there. Something is wrong because the raw materials and the shipping alone, you could not do that for that price. On the other side, we have also to see that the price range, like for a original Spyderco, there is the importation, the custom fee that they need to pay, then the dealer network, they have a certain percentage, then the distributor of them has a certain percentage, and then you end with a way higher price on the suggested retail price than with quite likely factory direct item like this one, or a family business style, how they do it without much dealers in between. That's why we get those knives for that little price. Those are not collector items, they are mainly for use. Again, sometimes the quality can be a gamble, so it can break on you. That did happen in the past too, and it's 50-50 what you get. The quality range of an original is of course way higher, and there you also have a warranty and all that, which you don't have by these Chinese knives. So as we come to the middle one, that is something that I did play a bit with. I did want to have a fully serrated knife, but only with G10 and no liners, to have it as light as possible. So I took it apart, I altered the knife there a bit, and yeah, shortened the screws and all that. It's not yet finished, but we already see how light it is. The pocket clip gonna be altered as well. Quite likely I'm gonna get me a carbon fiber pocket clip and put that on there with a inlay, a metal inlay, so that the screws hold again. I did want to create something rather inexpensive but with okay quality for using, with one hand opening, with fully serrated edge and only G10 scales, so that works out pretty well. It's absolute lighter compared to the one with the steel liners, and I also did grind off a bit apart inside the spacer there, and the metal tubing got taken off as well. So just saying, there is also a way to customize it of course. There is no Spyderco on it, so that is already good. They simply put their navy engraving there on it. Hopefully the camera see it. It's a bit shiny. The blade is completely shiny shiny finish as original by Spyderco. As we come to the last knife, this one was also made by Spyderco for a while, and we see here the CNC miller must be have had completely be drugged or alcohol. If we see how the milling is done here, and how he slipped down here and all the way there, and in front we see that too. That is a bad example, and that is part of the deal. The quality is never consistent from China. They don't care at all. So we see here, and then we see here the edge got way up, and here too it's like a roller coaster, and on the other side as well. That is of course bad. If you get something like this, it would be possible to rework it a bit, but sometimes if you are that deep down and then that high up there, it's not too easy. Not gonna spend much time on this. That was mainly to test out the design, the handling and all that. And of course the Chinese did copy that special lock system as well there. This one has a little bit of play. Hopefully the camera see it. This could be easily fixed, and that I'm gonna do as I take it apart by smash it a bit on the liner so it gets bigger, so that this play is gone. But still it's not a really bad play. I saw even way worse from China. The rest of this knife is pretty good, but it did not reach the quality point of the other ones there. All in all, it's basically to study the clip design, to see how well it is in the hand, how well it cuts. Of course, with the full flat grind all the way up of the leaf shape blade, that is relative a good cutter. But again, those here, they have a way better quality. One point I need to tell, the blade came relative sharp on all the knives. For sure you get a little bit more sharpness out of it if you sharpen it yourself, if you know how. And the screws. About the screws, hardly ever they use Loctite. It's a gamble. It's 50-50 if there is Loctite on it or not. So make sure if you get the knife, if you wanna use it, if you wanna carry it, put Loctite on each of the screws, so that the thing is adjusted correct and then locked in place with the Loctite. That's something even by many factory knives from US or the European brands, the Loctite is not there anymore. And then we had a Kershaw sample with 3 screws, and the friend did carry it for a short while, and already 2 screws, as best as I remember, 1 or 2 screws he did already lose. They simply did unscrew by themselves by carrying it, and then he felt it in the pocket that it's gonna wiggle around there. So thank God the customer service is pretty good and they send you spare screws. But if they would have put on a bit Loctite, that would already have prevent that, and many brands don't do that anymore. So that much about the Navy brand knives.